Hello. Today we are going to talk about the Bill of Rights, but we're mostly just going to focus on the first 5 amendments because those are the ones that the state requires the students to know. But the Bill of Rights is defined as the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution, but once again, we're only going to go over the first 5. The First Amendment, super important to know. Freedom of religion, assembly, press, petition, and speech. And a great acronym for that is RAPS, and that gets you to memorize all 5 freedoms. I love the first picture, people protesting against Common Core, because that is our freedom of speech. You don't like something, well, you got the freedom to stand up and say something. And freedom of religion means any religion. If you would like to worship your favorite football team, like mine, which is the Baltimore Ravens, you can do so. I don't worship the Baltimore Ravens, but I'm giving an example. The Second Amendment. Individuals have the right to keep and bear arms. If you want to carry a firearm, you have that right. The government cannot knock on your door and say, give it up. The Third Amendment. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner. Soldiers cannot just enter your home and say, I'm staying here for the night. They need your permission to do so. The Fourth Amendment. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause. So basically, the police cannot search your car or home without a search warrant. They need probable cause in order to get a search warrant. And the fifth, individuals have protection from double jeopardy and protections from self-incrimination. Example, if you were found not guilty of murder, and a week later someone finds a video of you murdering someone, they cannot put you back on trial, believe it or not. Also, if you witness a crime scene while spraying graffiti on a school, and you were called in to witness, and they asked you what you were doing the crime, you can say, I plead the fifth to stay out of trouble, and they cannot ask you any more questions. George Zimmerman is a perfect example. He was found not guilty. That's the end of the discussion. They can't put him back on trial for the same crime. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go to Google Hangouts. I gotta sign in. Alright, video. Okay, hello. Okay, so what I decided to make my foldable on was a little vocabulary foldable. And you can cut this into 5 squares, 3 squares, 7 squares, 10 squares, you name it. But basically, you don't fold the paper all the way. You need to leave a little bit of room for the title. Obviously, mine's is the first 5 amendments to the Constitution. And what you do is, on the outside, you put the vocab word, and on the inside, you put the definition. And this is great if you happen to teach a subject like history, where there's a ton of memorization. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on mine. What I'm going to use is, I will go ahead and use the awesome color of orange. So I'm going to fold this in half, but once again, I can't fold it all the way because, well, I gotta have room for my title. So, I'm making room for my title, making sure it doesn't come off. And what I need to do is, on the side, I need to write the first 5 amendments to the U.S. You want to be specific. Constitution. Oops. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my ruler and I'm going to go ahead and measure this at about 2 inches each. And I'm just going to make, I'm not going to quite make a full line yet. I'm going to say, okay, 2 inches, 2 inches. Can you see the dots? Good. Two inches, another 2, and another 2 inches. So we've got 2 inches and we have the little dots. And so now what we want to do is we're just going to make a line all the way through. We're going to make another line all the way through, and then finally a line all the way through. Now what I would recommend doing first is writing the vocab words before you cut them out. So I'm going to write First Amendment. I'm writing my vocab word first. I'm going to write Second Amendment. I'm going to write Third Amendment. I'm going to write the Fourth Amendment. And then finally, I'm going to write the Fifth Amendment. Okay. So now that I have written my vocab words, what I want to do now is I want to cut out those lines that I made. But I don't want to cut them out all the way, just to the fold. So as you can see, I am cutting out my lines. Okay, so now that I have cut out my lines, what I want to do now is I want to open up my card and I'm going to write my definition. So, the First Amendment, I have the freedom of religion, where's my pen? Okay, I have the freedom of religion, assembly, petition, press, and speech. So, I just wrote my definition down. I put that over, I cover it, voila! There it is. The second one, or big controversy amendment. The right to bear arms. And, you know, you want to keep these definitions. You don't want them to be too lengthy. But basically, the right to bear arms. The Third Amendment. Right from housing soldiers. Without your permission. Covering it up, voila! The Fourth Amendment is cannot search someone without probable cause. And then the Fifth Amendment is you cannot double jeopardy someone. And you have the right to not testify. To not testify. So ta-da! Basically, I love this foldable because I just created it. This is my, I guess, new foldable, the vocab foldable. So First Amendment, and it gives you the definition: freedom of religion, assembly, petition, press, and speech. Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. The Third Amendment, the right from housing soldiers without your permission. Let me cover these back up, because you only want the one you need. Cannot search someone without probable cause. And you cannot double jeopardy someone. I meant to say cannot. Okay. You cannot put someone on double jeopardy. So basically, if they commit a crime and you find evidence against them a week later, you can't put them back on trial for the same thing. And you have the right to not testify. I hope you enjoyed my video. Alright, have a great day.